Well, one of the things you see with fighters is they perform better when they're more active, when they fight more often. So if the fighter fights like 3 times a year, they're used to fighting every few months, and they get that feeling of competition becomes a normal, natural thing for them. And it's also something that happens when you see a fighter lose. When you see a fighter lose and they come back, they're very tense, and they fight. A lot of times they fight different because they're now worried and concerned about the consequences of failure. And you see that fear, that tension, it's in their system, and then their whole mode of operating as an athlete changes because of that tension.
Because they didn't recover for the shock, for the situation they've been through.
Sure, and that's also one of the biggest factors when you talk about the difference between the way someone performs in the gym versus the way someone performs in competition. We've all known these guys that were phenomenal in the gym, but for whatever reason, they weren't able to win in competition. It's so common. It's with some guys, it's almost like it's crazy. It's almost like there's a spell on them or something. Like you'll see them in the gym and you're like, this guy's a world beater, but they can't beat anybody in a competition.
Why is that?
Psychological. It's all psychological. They are imprisoned by their own fears and doubts. They don't have the confidence to rise to the occasion. They don't have the confidence to perform under pressure. They don't have. They can't just accept the potential failure. They can't. They're so overwhelmed and imprisoned by their fear of failure that when they get out there, they can't perform at their best. It's crazy because it forces failure. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy because they can't perform like they do in the gym. They can't just react. They can't flow. Like when you are fighting, when you're at your best, you're sort of just in this empty space. Like you're not thinking about the moves as much as they're just happening, and you're just relying on your training, and you're almost the best thing you do is stay calm, because as soon as you get emotional, as soon as you get aggressive, you might win being emotional and aggressive. You could catch someone and knock them out, but you also might get knocked out yourself. You might do something that's not smart, like when you're talking earlier about playing chess. Martial arts is a lot of ways like very much like chess, but way more complicated because your physical consequences are so severe. So there's all this fear. It's not just about losing. It's about getting hit. And that punishment of physical consequences is just so significant. It's so much different even than in jiu-jitsu. Like jiu-jitsu, the physical consequences are tapping and losing, and those are terrible. But it's nothing like getting kicked in the face or getting one of those Yoel Romero flying knees to your head. You know, that kind of fear that's an overwhelming fear. And for some people, they throw up when they're in the locker room, and they panic, and they get so scared they just can't perform under pressure.
You know, if you transfer this also to some of the operators, you know, some of the operators that literally dump.
When you say an operator, you're talking about
special
soldiers, special ops guys.
They're tough, you know. They are super guys, you know. They are, you know. I'm amazed by those guys, you know, and they just chapeau, you know. But it's natural, you know. They say, you know, during the task, I might be shitting in my pants, you know.
Like people say to me, like, should I take a self-defense class? Like, when they show you how to kick somebody in the knee, I go, listen to me. That shit is not gonna, like, there was just a guy on the fucking radio that was he was always talking about it was on Opie and Anthony show back in the day, and he was always talking about this difference between the street and martial arts. There's martial arts and tournaments. There's rules in the street. There's no rules. And I'm like, I fucking hate when people say that kind of shit. Because listen to me, the stuff that works on trained killers is the real shit. And if you think that you're going to come in and you're going to throw some fucking karate chop at someone's balls, and you're going to somehow or another be able to stop Anderson Silva from kicking you across the room, you're out of your fucking mind. You're out of your mind. First of all, you're not going to karate chop his balls. He's not going to let you get close enough to him. And if he does let you get close enough to him, he's going to strangle you. And you're not going to be able to do a goddamn thing about it. You're going to be 100% helpless. So these ideas that there's a shortcut, and the shortcut is like street defense. There's a certain pressure points around your neck. I can attack that, and you will be helpless. No, you're not going to get my neck, you fuck.
Let me grab your finger.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that guy's in the fucking store. There was a guy at the store who used to pinch down on literally this is the biggest phony I've ever met in all my years of meeting phony martial arts guys. He used to pinch down on your thumbnail. He was like, there's a pressure point on your thumb.
Yeah, right.
Like, motherfucker, dudes lie on me with their knee on my neck. Like they'll put all their weight on your neck to try to get you to give up the armbar. Like if you're in a situation where you're defending it's an armbar and a guy's on top of you, guys will put their fucking knee, a 230-pound man will put his knee on your neck while he's trying to, and he'll put all his weight on it. And you're not tapping from that. You think I'm going to tap from a thumbnail?
It's funny. I saw people try to get into the special forces community. I tried to teach them
pressure point shit?
I said, do you realize this guy's wearing bulletproof jacket,
yeah,
and, vest and patents and all the material? You're not gonna have access to the body,
Yeah.
It's
so
crazy.
Crazy.
It's crazy, mate.
There's so many stupid martial arts courses. I mean, it's so fucking dumb. It's so dumb. There's so many these ridiculous ideas that you're gonna be able to defend yourself with some tricks.
But
you
were saying on the car, people that love these things, like,
like
you're gonna have 6 packs.
Like, look at what's going on with Conor McGregor
and
that Ido Portal guy.
Yeah.
He's concentrating so much on movement, and movement is just a huge factor in his success because his ability to dictate, like, first of all, his ability to move in and out is better than almost anybody's. His ability to get out of the way and his ability to move in closely and move like a fucking snake.
Right.
Like he's on the outside and boom, he's in. And he's in before you know it. And these complicated, sort of tricky moves to try to time and follow. Very, very difficult guy to time. And a lot of that comes from constant application of all this movement theory and movement training. And like the more you can move your body any way you want, the more you're going to be able to move your body any way you want in competition.
Absolutely. And, at the end of the day, like you say at the beginning, it's... you can call it TACFI, SFG, Ido, as long as the coach is in charge, he's really smart. He understands how to map you down. That's good.
Yeah, and then Nick Curson, we were talking about, what he's into is all plyometrics, man. He barely has these guys lifting weights. He's got guys jumping over like hurdles and stuff and doing all these leaping back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Like he's all about movement and in a plyometric way, in an explosive way. And that's one of the reasons why he gets such great results out of his fighters, is because they develop this extraordinary ability to close the distance, extraordinary ability to get out of the way. The ability to move and then to stop what you're doing and then counter quickly. All that